So, now we're going to get to the part that everybody's been waiting for, and that is to meet our panelists. So I'm going to just give the names of everybody, and then maybe we'll start with start with Dennis. Sorry, Dennis. Start with Dennis, and each of them will tell you a little bit about their business model, what they do, if they're single, if they're not. We won't go there. So this is Debbie Dreyer. This is Janet French. This is Michael Randall. And this is Dennis Baton. Is that how you say your last name? I kind of destroyed it. So now we're going to get to the part that everybody's been waiting for, and that is to meet our panelists. So I'm going to give the names of everybody, and then maybe we'll start with start with Dennis. Sorry, Dennis. Start with Dennis, and each of them will tell you a little bit about their business model, what they do, if they're single, if they're not. We won't go there. So this is Debbie Dreyer. This is Janet French. This is Michael Randall. And this is Dennis Baton. Is that how you say your last name? I kind of destroyed it.
That's right. No, you did.
Anyway, so let's start with you, Dennis. Why don't you tell them where you're from and what you do?
Let's get a little nervous out here.
I know.
My name is Dennis Batum. I'm one of the co-founders of Dossier Capital. We have an office in Old Town Monrovia, and we fix and flip homes throughout the foothills area and Northeast LA. Myself and Anil in the back, we're in charge of acquisitions, so we look at thousands of deals monthly to see what works, what fits for us, as well as what fits for our friends too. So that's what we do.
Great. Michael?
Hey everyone, I'm Michael Randall, also a co-founder of Dossier Capital, and I manage a lot of the finances, make sure we close on our properties, manage the contracts, the legal, the accounting with our CPAs, lawyers, and also work with our investors. And our third piece of the puzzle, Mike De La Cruz, he's not here tonight. He's attending a wedding in Toronto. But combined, we manage, we do construction management, we wholesale deals, our primary bread and butter for our business is fixing and flipping, and we're also getting into we've done new builds, and the next phase for our business is now mixed-use buildings and commercial properties.
Cool. Very cool. Janet?
I'm Janet French, and my husband Larry and I, we work out strictly in the Coachella Valley, and we've been working out there since 2009, and our main goal was to buy rental properties so we could build cash flow, so we didn't have to continue to do this forever. And along the way, we flipped a bunch of properties and to get chunks of money, and that's pretty much what our framework has been. We are now lending like 10,000 other people probably in this whole entire valley, and we also run the Coachella Valley Real Estate Club out there. So it is also a club like this, no selling, and we meet the second Tuesday of every month. It's a little bit of a trek, but if you ever have the desire to go out and vacation in the Palm Springs area and come to our meeting, it's really worth it. And next month, huge deal, we have David Tilney, who is a fantastic major mentor in our real estate industry, so come out and see us.
Debbie?
I'm Debbie Dreyer. I'm the founder of East West Properties. I work here in Pasadena, and I've been investing in real estate on and off for 15 years, flipping. I've been in Pasadena about 3 years, and I'm from Baltimore, the other East Coasters. And I'm Christina Suter's partner in what I would call luxury flipping. So that's what we're doing here. We have probably we have 3 flips going right now. I do flips on my own as well. I have 2, and I have 2 in Indianapolis I'm doing.
Cool. All right, so everyone here is doing flips in California, and you're doing flips outside of California. So I want to find out a little bit about how you guys are getting your deals. So if we could just talk a little bit about that, that would be great. Who wants to start?
I'll start. So we have come to a place in our business after many years of goal planning and setting how much cash flow we wanted from rents, retirement, flipping, and whatnot, which I think I can harp on that all night. It's such a huge deal, setting goals and revisiting them every year. So we're at the point now where we've reached our cash flow goals and we're going to start traveling. So along the way, the important part is to build relationships. We don't do much marketing. It's very little and sporadic, but all of our flips right now, which is crazy, all of a sudden we have 4 in escrow, which is completely unusual for us. It's just strictly from relationships. So really take care of the people that you meet along the way and build that relationships, because it's really important, especially when the market is more difficult and more competitive. And not just because I'm sorry, let me back up. We started buying completely lucky in 2009. And prices were stupid and cheap, and it was really easy to buy. And I look back and go, why did we not buy like 10,000 more houses? But at the time, that was our capacity. So, but it's just building those relationships over time. And we're strictly out in the Coachella Valley. That is all we do. That's all we know. We know every single market there. If you come to us with an address, we know it within seconds what it's going to be worth. You know, so we're really knowledgeable in that area, and that's what we've done.
So can I just ask a question about that, Janet? You talk about building relationships. Who specifically are you building the relationships with?
We have a couple of wholesalers that we work with, and then a couple of agents. And I have to say that the agent relationships have been difficult to build. We haven't done a ton of work with agents, but it's persistence. The property that we just got in escrow, it's going to be a huge home run for us. We made an offer on that last year, and it's just following up, persistence, being the squeaky wheel. Do not be hesitant to pick up that phone, call, email, text, whatever you need to do, but just be persistent with that relationship and take care of it. Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Just a quick question. How often do you guys buy stuff off the MLS, actually on the market products?
I can't remember the last time we bought something off the MLS.
And for us, on our business, about 85–90% is MLS.
It just really depends on what you're. We're super lazy. I don't love it.
She says she has four houses in escrow. We're
No,
super
but
lazy.
but the exact thing that you said about following up and relationships, and all,
is.
we're doing the same thing, but MLS. And
Right,
so
and that's-
it's the
you
same
can.
tactics and the same.
There's deals everywhere. It's about being persistent. And I
Speaking our
guarantee
language
you,
right
most
there.
people are not
Yeah.
working hard enough.
Hey,
Most people are
and
not
that
working
too.
hard enough.
So
Totally.
why don't you go ahead and chime in? 80% on the MLS?
Yeah, 75.
75.
It's been dropping. It's been dropping. I'm always going to challenge him, by the way.
It's been dropping.
Exactly.
It's 75% on the MLS, and you know, when a house pops up on, we prefer Redfin, right? So I look at Redfin. I have my alerts set up. We only cover this foothills area, Pasadena, Altadena, Eagle Rock, Northeast LA, basically, right? And when something comes up, we see it, and if it's a hot home right away because it's priced really well, we look to see if we have a relationship with that realtor, that brokerage office, or anything to anywhere. You know, maybe there's a neighbor that we've dealt in that neighborhood before that could put in a good word for us, and we get deals that way. You know, if we're just we hate submitting offers without having any type of relationship. That's not what we do. We probably submit 10 offers, if even that, a month, and we close about 3 to 4 every month. So our close ratio is pretty phenomenal for what we do. But I mean, you really need a handful of agents. If they could pass you a couple deals each every year, I mean, it makes sense. And then we have a couple wholesalers that we work with that pass us a couple deals every year.
So do you attribute the close ratio to your relationships?
Absolutely. We try to, I mean, it makes the most sense for us because they know what we're about and they know that we're going to perform. I mean, that's the biggest key. We perform, and I think realtors in the areas that we work in really appreciate that. There's no back and forth pricing negotiation. It's just, this is our price, and we tend to get the deal most of the time without paying the highest price.
And where do the other 25% come from?
We just got a deal today, actually. We have a friend who does a lot of business in San Diego. They got contacted by a wholesaler. He referred them to us. And this was yesterday. They sent the deal in Eagle Rock. I went to go check it out today. And within 2 minutes of meeting them, I said, we'll just take the deal. the wholesaler said, what? I said,
He was taken back.
Yeah, he was taken back. He said, when can you close? I said, I'll close tomorrow. I'll wire everything. And he said, wait. I have to show it to other people. And I told him, I said, if you do deals in this pocket, we would like, first right of refusal for everything, and I'll make sure that, right now we have about 30 plus deals going on within our company. So whenever something gets plans approved, or he has other investors who want to buy something, sell our stuff to them. Help us sell, and we'll give you some more business to sell.
So you're putting deals under contract, but you're not necessarily flipping all of them, you're passing some on to other investors.
Yeah.
So small percentage.
This
Small
deal we
percentage.
actually got in Eagle Rock was a pretty nice deal. Yeah, we worked on and renovated and flipped 2 homes about 2 blocks away from there. So we purchased very, very well. So right away we're thinking, who can we sell this to? I think we could probably sell it for $50K without doing anything to it. So, but otherwise, if we do renovate it, there's a nice profit. It works out.
Cool.
So we go in with the intent to buy, but we also look at what can we liquidate right away to someone else.
Debbie?
I would say of all the deals in Pasadena, one was, we work with real estate, with agents for sure. 1 or 2 that we have good relationships with, and we had, all of them were on the MLS, one was a pocket listing. So we have one that we're doing in La Cañada right now, and I think we beat out 30 offers to get it.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And that was on the MLS?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm in 4 deals right now, and 2 were pocket listings and 2 were MLS.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and it was all about relationship and telling people what I was looking for, right? Telling them what I'm looking for, staying connected, continuing to pursue. Okay, so what keeps you going when you have a difficult time? What are the biggest challenges that you've had, and how does that help you guys? Who wants to start?
That's a question.
Oh.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You were gonna-
Oh, I thought he was saying that to you.
I think he was, but you go.
That's exactly what happened to my, you answered, okay, so this is how it's done. No, you sure?
And you can also vary this with what your biggest
that's
win
funny.
is too.
Okay, so partner-wise, I'm very blessed. It's my husband. So you have inherent trust, right? And luckily, we're not usually down or upset or bummed at the same time, thankfully. But when we got started, I had just closed my mortgage company in the downturn. I got sued for sexual harassment, so everybody stay away from me. And, we lost everything. We had $10,000 and we were looking at foreclosing on our home. So we had to make something work. And we were at that point where it was just, I didn't want to have to rely on somebody else for our income or have somebody else make the decision and have to recreate it. We wanted cash flow. So honestly, we went into this business not as flippers, but to buy rental property. Flipping is a necessity. You need chunks of money. For us it was. I can't say what it is for everybody. But in the downtime, it's just really the knowledge of being able to rely on a partner. And even if you don't have a partner that you're married with or whatnot, like you guys, I have partners, you have to be able to trust their judgment and know that if they're feeling good about something and you've had a great relationship, they're going to be right? Because there's been times when we haven't wanted the same property. I was like, oh God, no, this is a horrible property, and we've done just fine on it. So it goes both ways.
When you lost everything, how did you get the capital to start your first deal?
So very blessed. We have, I have done a lot of volunteering for the Philharmonic Society, and then I was also in Kiwanis. And just knowing people for a long time, and they trusted me, and knowing that a lot of these people were pretty wealthy and had money sitting in a bank earning nothing, even in 2009. They just kept asking us, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is what we're doing. And this is the price of the property, and this is what we're going to do. And they just trusted us. And I have to say that is one of the most blessed things that we've had in our business is our financiers now don't ask for anything. I say, hey, we're buying this property. We need this much. we're closing next Tuesday, and when do you want the money? I mean, it's really come down to that now. So it's just been personal relationships. But I have to say, the very first home that we bought was with the Norris Group, hard money. And the biggest bonus about hard money, do not shy away. I know it's expensive because we hard money our own money now. It's a second set of professional eyes that have been in your business looking at your deal. And if they tell you it's a shit property, don't buy it. If they tell you it's a great deal, you're stoked. But really trust that judgment, or at least look at a few, because they will really help you along. And it's expensive, but worthwhile, for sure.
So the first one was hard money, but then after that, did you issue more equity or debt?
No, we just did that. I mean, I have to say, there's a few properties we certainly split, but most of it was 100% financing, 100% purchase, 100% rehab.
Okay.
Yeah, at the time, we just had great relationships, which isn't going to happen for everybody, but figure your deals on hard money. If you can make it work on hard money, you can make it work pretty much on anything. Or partner. Give up some to learn from somebody else. It's absolutely worth it. Sorry, I'm totally not in it.
So it's a great thing.
Okay, what about you guys? Your biggest challenge or biggest wins or both?
You go.
You go.
Okay, I'll go. I mean, our biggest challenge that I could recall when we first started actually was just starting the business. We had a very similar story. We had I was in the mortgage industry, and I was managing 50, 60 people at one point, and everything came tumbling down with the banks, and stopped lending money, and we had to pivot. When Michael and our other partner got together, we tried out multiple businesses and failed. I mean, all within probably I don't know, 6 months or less. Clothing design, internet marketing.
It was a year. It was a solid year.
Solid year failure.
Everything, right? And they failed miserably, and it was okay because we were still grinding, trying to figure out what to do, and we knew real estate, and we scraped whatever funds we had and asked friends and family, that believed in us, and knew that we knew what we were talking about still, and we understand real estate, and we used their funds to, and then hard money as well. Who did we first get our hard money? Reggie Law.
Reggie Law.
Reggie.
Reggie Law's a good guy. From Reggie, and we did our first deal in Sacramento, and then one turned into two, and we just keep driving. I mean, just my
Literally kept driving.
Yeah,
up to
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
We had to get there by plane, train, bus, whatever you can think of. But I mean, those were our roots, And I mean, I think what keeps us going today is I have great partners that push us, and I know that I can't be 100% every day, but they pick me up when I'm down, and I mean, I try to carry as much energy as I can to pick them up too when they're down, and that's key because real estate is based on momentum. So when you're hot, take advantage of it and keep moving, and if you're not, get around people who are. I mean, that's what you have to do to create momentum. Then do it, and you'll start to see things happen. It's the moment you start getting negativity in your mind, like I can't do this, or I don't have enough money, or there are no deals in there. It starts to bleed into everything, and to the people you speak with too. And bad energy is it's noticeable. So you have to figure out a way to do away with that.
You want to add to that?
No, I mean, they both hit it on the head. Especially having partners for me is key, because I can reflect on a time where I had a great business, actually still involved in it, but it was almost a one-man show where everything was on me, and then I had employees or a manager, and that was tough. I think what kept me going during that period was the fact that the business was doing better and better each month, and so that was a good thing, but at the same time it was all on me every single day, every single night, the failures or the challenges, whereas now I really appreciate having my two partners and the rest of our team, because like they said, if you have a down day or a bad day, they're able to pick you up, and they feel that energy, or they know what you need, and vice versa if you need to do that for them. So that's been really beneficial.
And we are married, by the way. This is my work husband here. I mean, I spend as much time with him as I do with my family, so
Yeah.
it's, you know, we fight just like, but then they're good times. So it works
His
out.
wife actually told one of our good friends that she's so happy that I'm around it, like in the work life, because she's like, it's like he's a representation or extension of me. So, yes, Mom.
Deb?
Gosh, probably just personally, the hardest challenge for me was I didn't know anything about this market. So I've only been, like I said, about 3 years, and when I got here, coming from the East Coast, the market was horrible. I mean, the houses were just sitting there, and they weren't selling, and I came out here and I was like, wow, there's like 35 people at every open house, and the house is like $1 million too. So that's when I decided to really get back in, like crazy. And so I just literally, I was telling these guys earlier, like I just went to open houses to educate myself on the market, like 20 open houses every weekend, literally go. Because I needed to know like what's selling, who's buying, what level of renovation do you have to do, how much money does it take, who are the people, who are the trades, where do you find a contractor? Like I didn't have any of my people here, right? And I started going to meetings, and luckily, speaking of partners, I ran into Christina, which was great. She's an amazing partner. I can't believe she's not here. But we have a wonderful partnership because I'm in our relationship. I'm sourcing the deals, I'm doing the work, I'm managing the contractors, and these are things that I've known how to do, and I've done it before. I just hadn't done it here. Right, and I'm a producer by trade, so it's sort of second nature for me. So we hit it off, and it's been a great partnership because she's so her depth of knowledge and expertise in all areas of real estate investing has been huge for me. And we have the same risk tolerance, so. It's important, and we were talking about that earlier too. This is not an easy market. It is hard here, and you have to really. It's just sheer tenacity. That's all I can say. 30 offers. Like you just have to keep going, and if you really believe in the property, and real estate. It's like my dad has said forever: location, location, location. And that's what you buy, and you do your homework, and Christina's so good at that, and the research and the comps and, demographics and forecasting, like, is this buyer going to be here in 10 months when we finish getting the permits, So that's kind of the good and bad of it, but yeah, I've been super blessed. Of course, meeting Christina. And it took me a long time. It was not an easy relationship to develop, I mean, you have to spend the time and meet these people and go to coffee and, drive to the meetings in San Gabriel or wherever. And just go, So that's my 2 cents.
Cool. I'm going to just add a little bit to that because my biggest challenge was also my biggest win, oddly enough. So when my first flip, I made $100,000. And I was like, damn, where has this been all my life? And I just started flipping, right? Here was the challenge. I thought my next flip was going to be that.
Yeah.
And so that was the spread I was looking for. And guess what? I didn't get another flip for almost 2 years. Like, because the deals I was looking at were too small at that point. I'm like, wait a second, my first flip, I was willing to make like 15, 20,000, right? Because it was my first flip. I was like, oh, I don't care what I make. I want to learn. And, and I went into it. And then after making that kind of money, it really backfired on me, and it messed up my mindset as to what.
You're waiting for the professional salary now.
Right.
Real salary.
I was like, what? 30,000? Right? And it was just such a mindset mess up for me.
Yeah.
And I ended up missing a bunch of deals. And that was really disappointing. But you know what, we all go through whatever we have to go through to get to the other side, and that just happened to be my,
Yeah,
challenge
that's true.
and a win. So
It's a
we've
good
all
one.
talked about partnering here. And you know what, I'm going to ask that anybody who has questions, write them down, because we're going to have an open question right after this. So we've all talked about partnering, and I didn't realize it until Christina brought it up when we were working on these questions, that everybody here has partners. And I have partners too. I actually have never done a flip on my own. I have rehabbed my buy and holds myself because they're in my own personal. But all the flipping that I've done has always been with partners, and I love partnering when I'm flipping. Sometimes you have a certain perspective and you need somebody else's input, whether it be on design, whether it be on financing, whether it be what to do with this dang property, right?
Yeah.
You have to look at things different. So I'd like you to comment on that, but I'd also like to you to comment on it, in respect to how are you having to change things in this market? What are you having to look at to enhance a property, to add more value in this market right now? So if you guys could comment on that and talk a little bit about your models, that would be great. Like, you're in the luxury,
I guess, I don't know, maybe all of LA is luxury.
I know, it feels like that.
That's what it feels like. But I mean, luxury, yes, so, yeah, we just exited our largest flip, I would say, and it sold for 2.75. That's kind of up
And
there.
just give everybody an idea of how long that took to rehab and how long it was on the market, because I think that's a little different than
Yeah,
a
we
median house.
acquired it November 1st, or we started construction November 1st last year. And I think we were on the market by April. So
That's actually.
It's
it
good
was a
timing.
whole home, yeah, it's a little slow, but it was a whole home remodel, and
Is
we
that
didn't
the
have to
Linda
add
Vista
on.
area?
That's the Linda Vista one, yeah.
And it was on the market for 4 months?
4 months? Yeah, yeah. And so this is a really interesting, we were getting nervous, and, we came out of the gate like, oh man, and we put it up there at, what?
So that's a big payment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we put it up there at like 2.9 because the comps supported it, right? And our partner, we had one other partner in that deal who's also a real estate agent, and he's a designer, very well known in this area. And he was doing great. He was flipping 10 houses himself for the year. And he's one of the guys that I honed in on when I first moved here, and I was like, wow, you're really doing it right, so I want to know you, So we ended up being able to partner with him, but one of the interesting things about that, when we looked at the market, at that price point, it was taking on average 5 months to sell. And so you have to, we didn't calculate
Yeah,
that initially.
yeah.
Luckily, we had a great piece of property, a great piece of real estate in the right part of town, and we were okay, with the spread, but you have to be careful. It's a great thing about having Christina as a partner. She's just so, economically focused. So, the things you have to do, design. It's all about design here.
Cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Janet?
So, I like what you said earlier. So we're in escrow on a couple of properties, but we're doing a little different. So when we get a property, especially now, because we're a little lazy, I'm tired of working with contractors. No offense to the contractors.